Hey guys, welcome to another great episode of Grinding for Greatness with your boy Ricky Marcus, also known as Ricky Cheese. I'm here with Jamie Harrison, Tim Dane, and Kurt Montanye, three of the coaches of the two-time national championship RPA/Headhunter girls team. They won the AAU Scholastic National Duals again, also known as the Disney Duals for those that don't know. Guys, how you doing tonight?
Good. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I am so happy to have you guys on again. Second year in a row. Here we are again. Maybe next year we'll be doing this again, hopefully. But you know what? Let's just jump right into it. Kurt, I'm going to start with you. You win last year. I know you had to say to yourself, you know what? We got to do this thing again. Let's try to win it again. At what point did you start planning this team? Was it like right after the last year? How did that work?
Yeah, pretty much. We just started throwing names around. We had already actually started talking about doing three teams for this year. We're going to have a developmental and two all-star. I'm glad that developmental didn't work out, so we ended up having two all-star teams. But Jamie and I and Tim had already started compiling names. I think maybe at the beginning of the season, and we're trying to get four girls per weight class, and then we can kind of pick and choose and filter out. And then you're going to have injuries. You're going to have girls that flake out and do their thing. But yeah, it probably started last week, I guess. Right, Jamie, Tim? We've already got a pretty good idea of who we're going to be asking to come back for next year.
Okay. No, go ahead. Well, you guys definitely did it again. So let's talk about this year's team. Was this year's team the same exact team as last year's, or were some new girls added?
Jamie, take this one.
Yeah, it was a combination of both. I think we were at like a little less than 50% of the team returned, but where we added girls that graduated or moved on to a different team, I felt we were a little stronger this year. We were very tough from top to bottom. And the girls that did return last year tended to be like, the lesser experience on that team really brought it and stepped up a level from last year to this year. And it was tough. I mean, what was the closest duel? I think we won by 21 points. But
Yeah.
On average, we were winning every duel by 30, 35 points. And we returned everybody by two. So
who did you guys beat for the championship last year?
Missouri, the St. Louis Green team.
And who did you beat in the finals to win this year's national title?
A team from Iowa. I think it was Beachside Brawlers, I believe.
Yeah.
From Iowa, where there's no beaches.
Correct.
Should have been the cornfield.
And that. Right, and in that duel, we looked phenomenal, right? Like, started the day out a little rough. Everybody came out a little flat, and it made me nervous at first gold pool round, and then I think we started out by pinning everybody in like 6 or 7 matches straight in the finals, and 3 of them we were definitely major underdogs. Like Fallon, Tim's daughter, came out there and stuck the girl that was ranked 18th in the country as an 8th grader.
Ooh.
So
crazy. So let's talk about some of the girls. We're going to talk about a bunch of them, but I want to start out with Ariana Antoneau. She not only went undefeated, but she dominated. And then she was named the outstanding wrestler of the tournament, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
Kurt, talk to me about her. What's up with that girl?
She started wrestling 2 years ago. She was brought to me last year. We started working together. Season started, didn't really have a whole lot. We worked together over break a bit. And then after the season was over, she placed in the state. First girl from her high school, East Lake High School, to make the podium. That was a proud moment for her. And then she came to me and we had a conversation about changing her style. She wanted to be a little more technical, a little more finesse, more than the muscle. So her dedication is second to none. She's in the room 5 to 6 days a week, wrestling 3-hour sessions with us, and couldn't be more proud of her. And right now she's out in Fargo. She's actually weighing in 15 minutes.
Awesome. And she went to Eastlake, you said.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, she doesn't have very many years of experience, does she?
No, this is going, her senior year will be her third year.
That makes it even more impressive. You know, I mean, two years, 2.5 years, whatever. That's crazy. So, what do you think it is that makes her so good?
Dedication. She has the ability to just shut everything off and just get in that room and be laser focused.
Yeah.
She's a sponge. She picks everything up really, really quick.
Now,
So,
were there any? Do you name captains for this team, or you guys are the captains?
Jamie, Tim,
Jamie, do you have captains, or are you guys the
Uh,
captains?
I believe we mixed it up pretty much every duel. Tim and Kurt really started naming the captains. My face was like buried in my phone, scouting the next duel and matches most of the time, so I didn't really get involved too much in that.
Coach
But
Tim, who are the
I know.
captains? Can you hear me, Tim? Yeah. I can hear you. Go ahead.
yeah.
You're breaking up a little, but you're good.
We kind of went on a rotation. Like the first duel, we wanted the seniors to be in there. So we had Emma Balknight and Cheyenne. And then I think we threw Willow White out as the third captain.
Nice.
And then we just did a constant rotation. But we were more focusing on, the two seniors who have been with us for 2 years, going out more than most.
So that would be
So it was kind of, we were mixing up
Cruz and Balknight were your two seniors that are graduated.
from this team. Yeah. And then Anna Villar from the Omega team.
Yep. Cheyenne Cruz, you just mentioned her. Let's talk about her. What kind of tournament did she have?
Jamie.
It was a little up and down. She took a couple of losses. I think won the first day, won the second day, avenged the second loss. Besides that, in Cheyenne style, pretty much controlled the situation in every match, even in the losses. It was very controversial, I would say. Where she was controlling the tide, controlling the action, and positioning, and tough girls, tough weight. Hers happened to be one of the tougher weights there, where everybody from top to bottom seemed to be top 3-4 in their state, and but again did well, and that's coming off the major shoulder surgery from last year as well, where she still to this day is not 100% yet from
Okay.
that.
So for not 100%, she did pretty good.
Right.
Did any of like your newer girls kind of get like that stage fright when they walk through the doors and they see a million mats laid down on the floor? Or were they kind of just like, hey, man, we're going to go do our thing?
Well, most of the girls have had national experience.
Okay.
So we did have a girl, Zara Exlist from Creekside. This is her first major tournament, and she kind of walked through the doors like, "What did I get myself into?" And then she went out there and she really performed for us. Besides that, Claire O'Donnell returned this year. She was on our team last year as an All-American, so she had that little bit of experience out there. Besides that, you look at the rest of the lineup. All these girls have been to national tournaments.
So you guys had, I believe, 3 girls on the squad that went undefeated on that national championship team, correct? That would be
Yes,
Ariana Antoneau, outstanding wrestler, of
yes,
course, Willow White, and Sophia
yes.
Delgado. So let's talk about Willow.
Okay, Tim, you want to take that one?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Jamie, let me ask you a question about Willow White. What is her style? Would you say is she a brawler? Is she more of a technician? What kind of wrestler is Willow White?
Uh, a, a good mix, to be honest with you. At some points, it was more methodical and just great technique and flow. And then sometimes, if that girl came out and pushed the pace or scored on her, as Tim said, then that switch flipped. And the big throws and lifts were coming, and she's fun to watch. She's very entertaining. And again, very, very good mix, and she's going to do well at the next
Oh,
level.
for sure. Now, has she signed with anybody or committed to anyone yet?
Not that I'm
She
aware of.
she has a college visit coming up.
Okay, you going on that with her?
If all goes well, yes.
Nice, nice. Can we divulge what college that may be, or is that kind of a secret right now?
Well, right now, we're gonna see how she does in Fargo, and if everything goes well, she'll be joining Sarah Walsh, Sayuri Caceres, uh, Ariana Antono, and we're all heading out to and Jocelyn Johnson, and we're heading to New Jersey for the New Way National Duels in Atlantic City. After that, we'll be visiting Felician University in Rutherford.
Now that you mentioned this trip that you guys are going on, first of all, when are you guys leaving?
We're leaving the 21st, Monday the 21st,
Okay, so today's what, the 11th?
something like that.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so we
think
got
so.
10 days. Now, I know these
Yep.
trips are not cheap. We all know they're not cheap. And one thing that I want to mention, and I'm not saying this to embarrass you, Coach Kurt, but I want people to know that there's been many times where, you have girls on the team that just they don't have it. We're in a tough time right now, everybody. And I know for a fact, and you can lie and say it's not true, but it is true. You take money out of your own pocket to make sure some of these girls get there, which is very admirable, and I commend you for it. But that's not right. It shouldn't have to be that way. So if anybody out there has a business or is in a fortunate position to where they would like to contribute, maybe sponsor the team, how could they do that?
Just PM me, reach out to my Facebook page, my personal number, whatever,
What's your
and I'll
email
put you
address?
in.
People can email you.
Sure, it's Kurt Montanye, Montanye 48 at gmail.com.
Perfect. Now I know a lot of the trip has been paid for, but there's still like three or four girls that, they're kind of scraping it up, and you're probably going to have to dig into your pocket for some airfare. But again, if there's anybody that could help, it would be greatly appreciated, I'm sure. So I just wanted to mention that because it is important that, you guys are doing this for free. You don't make money, and you shouldn't have to pay for anybody other than yourselves. So if anybody could help, that would be wonderful. Contact Coach Kurt. Anyways, uh,
Well, two things really quick. He's really gone above and beyond. We had, a couple of really good sponsors this year. Frank Pizzucillo, Joe Stewart, Catherine Stewart's father. We've had some really good people, and of course, the O'Donnell family. They've helped out quite a bit. So I really can't thank them all enough. They're amazing people. But as far as that's concerned as well, Jamie Harrison, another guy who like he does the same thing I do. He makes sure that his girls are taken care of. That's why Jamie. I love working with Jamie. I have so much respect for him because he does it from his heart. We're not millionaires, not even close. I live in a studio apartment, but I bust my ass 5, 6 days a week to have my fun and travel and enjoy the time with these kids. And I know Jamie does too, man. That's why I have so much respect for Jamie.
I love it, and I have a lot of respect for you two and every other coach out there that's doing this type of thing. Um, Sofia Delgado, she went undefeated. She's a beast, man. Like, what kind of what kind of tournament did she have?
Jamie.
And again, one of the tougher weights, right? There were some weights there that really, really stacked. That almost every time the girl stepped out on the mat, it was going to be a
Yeah,
dogfight. And there's two or three where she was down in the third and just stayed composed, collected, and just found a way to win. You know, against really really top level competition. Um, a huge future ahead of her. You know, her Fallon could potentially be on this team again for 4 more years. You know, so
Crazy.
it's crazy.
She's in
Uh-huh.
8th grade, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And where
Yeah.
is she?
Both of them.
Where will she be going to high school next season?
Florida Christian, the school that it's her. It was Rachel
Okay.
Silva, Melly Gallo, Cifuentes, Victoria Cifuentes.
Mhm.
They've got a nice little stable of girls down
Yeah, they
there.
do.
So, and Coach Nick Alvarez does an amazing job down there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Nick's a good dude, man. I like him a lot. That's the Lucha.
Yeah, Casa de
Yeah,
Lucha.
Casa de Lucha. Yeah. Nick's a really good
That's
dude, man.
Nick was our head coach of our Omega team.
Okay, so I want to talk about another girl. This girl has been one of my favorites for the last 4 years, and that would be Emma Bachknight from Hernando High School. Um, the girl brings it. She's tougher than nails. Um, I thought she would have went undefeated. How did she do? Talk to me about Emma's performance.
Yeah, good.
All right. Well, Emma had one loss. She's when she goes out there, she's under control. She has poise. She shows almost no emotion. She could be down, and she'll have the same face on as if she's up. She led by example, and that's why she was one of the unofficial captains. You can't replace a kid like that.
Right.
You know, you can put somebody in the weight class, and they may actually be more successful. But that girl led by example, and we had her for 2 years. Unfortunately, we don't have her for 4, but we had her for 2, and she made the best of her time. And it was a pleasure to coach her.
Yeah. Did her dad make the trip? I love her dad.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
He was there.
He's the man. I love that guy.
He's always in the shadows, always taking pictures. He supplied Jamie, what would you say, over 100 pictures for the team?
Hundreds, yeah, hundreds of
And you
pictures.
know what I love about that guy? He puts his daughter in the best positions to be successful. You know, he gives her these opportunities, steps back, and then lets her do what she needs to do with that opportunity. And obviously, you know, she takes advantage of it. Was in the state finals. Um, but yeah, man, I just love that girl. I hope she does great at the college level. I'm sure she will. Another girl that I absolutely love because she just makes me laugh is Yuri Caceres. Say Yuri. She's a piece of work, right?
She's an original.
Uh,
So,
yeah.
how many losses did she take at this tournament?
Jamie.
Uh, Two. I want to say two.
Okay.
I think it was two.
I think 2 is accurate.
Right. She took a loss to Higgins. She was up pretty big, and again, Higgins from Canton, super
Oh yeah,
tough. It was dominating the match and made a mistake in the third. It didn't go her way there. I believe she took a loss against. Oh, yeah, the Fargo champ from Maryland.
okay.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Diamond Fish.
yeah, that's ranked like second or third in the
Yeah, if
country.
you're gonna
And,
take a
and
hit,
those
that's who you want to take a hit to.
right. She had no idea either. Like we sort of let her walk out there and into the fire, and she was a little upset when she walked off. And I was like, well, that's the best of the best right
Right.
there. She's a pound for pound top 20 kid in the country. So, good experience. That's why we go.
Yeah, for sure. Did she compete or she got waxed?
She competed. I mean, she did end up getting caught, but she, definitely competed until that point.
That's
So,
all you can ask for, man. That's all
right,
you can
right.
ask for. All right, I want to talk
Yep.
about a real special girl right now. She's special because she had the most pins in the least amount of time for the entire tournament. That would be 2-time state finalist and state champ, Jocelyn Johnson. Is he a 2-time or 3-time finalist? I think she was
2.
2-time
Two-time.
and she won it once, right? Took
Yes.
second last year.
She's got a 1-2 and a 3.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So she had most. Now she didn't go undefeated, but she did get the most pins in the least amount of time. How many pins and how long was it? Do we remember or we don't know?
I think she
Yeah.
pinned every match but one. So would she go 13-0? So she had one loss. So she 12-1. So she was pinned 11 times,
Wow. So
10 or 11 pins.
I forgot. Yeah, the Disney duels, man. You get like 10, 12, 13, whatever matches.
Right.
That's a lot of work that you're putting on your body in a weekend. Do you talk to these girls before the tournament? Let them know that it's going to be a meat grinder, and maybe discuss, how to handle the recovery process. How to get your body ready for the next day, or do you kind of let them just do their own thing?
Um, I think they're all to that point where a lot of that doesn't need to be talked
Okay.
about. When we get there before the first duel, we definitely have that that speech prepared about how this is a dual event, which for girls isn't overly something they're exposed to during season at all, right? It's mostly just large IBTs, and there's not a lot of duels locally or with the FHSAA
Yeah.
yet. So that mindset with some of them that aren't active in the off-season duels, they just go to Fargo, Super 32, or whatever may have you. We touch on that about, hey, stay off your back. Don't give up majors and text. If it's going sideways, try and keep it to a decision. Like those things are what matters in these duels. And they're all pretty receptive to it and understood. Like if somebody's down and takes a loss or something happens sideways, pick each other back up and be ready for that next match. Like good example, Kalani Barrientos got hurt in our second match of the tournament.
Oh,
Right, it was massive hit, but we didn't even feel it because we were so
yeah.
strong. And this year we did the same as last year and made sure we had two or three backups that could have been starters regardless, right? So we're able to just move everybody around, and it was sort of a seamless thing. And I mean, it would have been even a little more lopsided with
For
her then,
sure.
right? So,
Yeah, Kaylani's
uh,
she's a very, very good wrestler.
yeah.
Um, you know,
As far as the physical stuff, the girls would come over the house, and I brought my whole kit with me. Like we did cupping, we did scraping, we did tens unit, icing, ice compression, elevation. Any boo boos, we had them all covered.
okay,
So the girls they were popping in and out of the house, coming in, getting treated, heading out, jumping in the pool, hanging out as a team together.
nice.
So yeah,
One thing I wanted to ask both of you, with these big dual meet tournaments, Disney duels, uh, Megatron duels, NHSCA national duels, it never fails, and I always see it posted on TFWR Facebook page. Coaches are always posting that kids who committed have dropped last minute. Now, obviously, we're not going to mention any names. You guys can
correct.
do that, and I wouldn't allow it anyways. But did you guys have any like last minute dropouts that either kind of hurt you or that you just had to find a replacement real quick? Like it had to have happened, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a PhD in like mental health dealing with Kurt on a nightly basis. Like
I'm
2 a.m.
needy.
phone calls and texts waking me up. Like, we lost so and so, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we're good, man. We'll be all right.
So you're the cool, calm,
It's
collected. He's the lunatic, nervous, and worried about it. Okay.
And then I'm a lunatic during the
Well,
duel.
you got to balance each
yeah.
other out. And it's a good combination there.
Right. I'm good till we get there. And then when we get there, I'm the one like, like I look at like every which way, every single match through the duel could go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
We know our roles as coaches. Where I'm putting the team together. Jamie will give me his list, and I'll have my list, and Tim will have his list, and we start figuring out who's going on which squad. And you got some girls, who want to stay, like the Villar sisters, and Jocelyn Johnson came on as the like literally what, Jamie, like 2 weeks before the tournament.
All three
If
from
that,
Flagler
yeah.
Palm Coast.
Right.
Yeah, so their goal was to keep them together. We had girls from another team that they wanted to stay together. So we did our best to accommodate everyone. But, at the last minute with somebody dropping off, we had to shift Jocelyn over to the other team. And then Fallon Dames made this drastic cut back down to 109 where she wrestled last year. and she has grown as a wrestler and as a human being. So what she sacrificed for the team, you really can't say, and she's only in eighth grade. She's learning sacrifice as a seventh and eighth graders. Pretty good thing. And, that said something about Tim and Lindsay, her mom and dad, how they raised her.
For sure, man. That's a lot to ask of an eighth grader, man. And the fact that she said, I did what she had to do and actually made it, that's pretty impressive, man. That shows that mental toughness, but also the mental maturity. She can't be what, 14, 13, 14 years old?
She's 15.
15? Okay,
Yeah.
still
Yep.
so young, man.
15.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, for sure. And it was sort of, it wasn't talked about either, right? Like in practice a week prior to the tournament, she was like nervous about making 114, right? So like 2 days later, she was almost there, and but feeling like crap, and we started talking about why, and she had already started cutting out water and food and everything else like eight days prior, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, absolutely not, right? So I talked to Tim and Lindsay, and then talked to her. I was like, hey, there's a very healthy way to do
Yes.
this. And, it doesn't take going out there and doing a bunch of extra stuff. It's just watching your diet, staying overhydrated, right? Like the overhydration helps flush your system. And you start doing that stuff way too much ahead of time, it's detrimental. Your body goes into self-preservation mode. And she sat down, listened, and then all of a sudden we turned around and we're like, oh, you're probably going to make 109, right? And that's one of the spots we had somebody drop. And it was never even talked about.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, she was just so close, and she's like, "Wow, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it,"
Good for her.
and did. So, yeah.
She got when we checked into the Airbnb, she was right there, and she was ready to work out. She's like, "All right, we're just going to do a quick run, and we'll see where we're at." And she gets to the arena, and she was a quarter pound under. It's like, wow, we're and that was inspiration for us as coaches. We're like, these girls are listening to us, and we're not even on the mat yet.
See, that's the difference. We get a bad rap in our sport with weight cutting, and I hate weight
Right.
cutting, but what I don't hate is weight management. There's a difference, and people have to
Right.
realize that there is a safe and a healthy way to do it, and it almost has to be done in this sport because everybody's doing it, and you want to be able to
Right.
compete. And if you do it properly, it is very safe. I know that for a fact because I've spoken with doctors. But weight cutting, yeah, these kids got to learn proper weight management, and there'll be no problems. But no, I'm glad she made it, and I'm glad she made it in a healthy way.
Right. Yeah, and had an excellent tournament. I mean, she's going to have a bright future ahead next year.
Oh, yeah.
She
Fallon something else.
beat the number one girl in Florida. Beat another tough girl, Rosie Klein, as well.
Yeah. Monarch, if I believe, right?
Right. Beat a state runner-up from, I think, Indiana, Illinois. Then another runner-up from Iowa, the Iowa State champ that was ranked 18th in the country and hasn't even stepped foot on the mat in high school yet.
Wow.
So
that is so impressive, man. Was Tim going nuts when she won that match?
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. So how did last year's team, or how does this year's team differ from last year's team, if at all?
Balance.
Okay.
Balance, without a doubt. We were top to bottom. You look at last year's team where we had Kat Stewart. You can't replace a Kat Stewart. She's a team leader. She's a state champ.
Mm-hmm.
She's got poise, grace. She's second to none. She graduates, and then we kind of had to fill in the blanks. And it was like, okay, well, we don't have Catherine, but we got Ariana on the rise. We got Zara, who is literally nobody knew who she was except for, us as coaches know who she is. And these two girls came in there and filled that lineup where we had a weak spot and a tough spot. And now all of a sudden we have two balance spots, and it really balanced everything out. And, this is again, had Jamie's brilliance of balancing lineups and manipulating lineups. It just worked out for us.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Awesome.
There's somebody I do want to mention, and actually I want Jamie to talk about her.
Yeah.
She was a surprise. I think to me, watching her grow from last year to this year, moving into the Alpha team was Sarah Walsh.
Right.
Formidable.
I mean, yeah, Tim and Jamie. That's one of their girls. She's got a bright future. But Jamie, talk about her, man.
Yeah, she's put a lot of work in. I sort of got her right from the beginning. She wrestled out here in Clay County. I believe her eighth grade season, and then a month or two into her career, joined our club, and has been with me ever since. And she's always had the tools, the physical tools, the technique. It just was the mental aspect of wrestling that sort of bogged her down, right? Like at our region, she's up against Kendall Haney 8-1 with 30, 45 seconds left in the third and got stuck. Beat Natalia from Ponte Vedra, same way, like up 6-0. Yeah, makes a mental error, gets stuck, right? So after the season, we all know that as you're around, like eventually things click for kids in their career, and it's clicked.
Yes.
It's clicked. There's a lot of big wins lately. Emma, she beat at one of the qualifiers to go to Falwell State. The girl from Vieira, Kat Kenny, pinned her a couple times at Falwell State. Just really, really big wins. I think she went 11-2, did
Yes.
she? One of the losses, she was wrestling a 2 or 3 time state champ. Had her stuck. Girl pulled the foot whirly bird on her back. It came back and ended up taking the loss, right? So just excellent, excellent upside for next year. And she's definitely got one of a kind physical of ability that's hard to find with girls sometimes, right? Like she's very athletic, very strong. Um, we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah.
You know?
No, she definitely improved, man. I mean, when I first saw Sarah Walsh wrestle, I was like, this girl could be good. She was average,
Right,
maybe a little bit above average, and then she just. It's funny you said the phrase something clicked because people ask me all the time about my own sons back years ago when they were wrestling. At what point did you know that they were going to be good? I said, there was a time for each one of my three sons that there was a certain match that I saw something click. And it was at that
right,
point, from that point on, that they had the confidence. They
right.
knew they were there, man. They knew that they were supposed to be there. And it's so true. It just and I talked to Emma's dad, Greg. I said, and this was maybe a year or two ago. We were talking about this. I said, you watch. I'm telling you right now, and he'll tell you this. I said, something's going to click. And there was a match, and he goes, you were right, man. That was the time. And I forgot what match that was. It doesn't matter. But yes, there's something happens where it clicks, and they're good to go from that point. So I
Right,
agree with you
right.
100% on that.
Yeah.
Talk to me about my girl Riley, man, Lancaster. One of my favorite wrestlers, man. Was she on this team or the other team?
She was on our team. She was on the Alpha squad.
How'd she wind up doing?
She, I think she took 4 losses.
Okay. And so what? She won like 5, 6 matches?
Not more than that. I think like eight,
8? Okay.
7 or 8.
Okay. And
Um,
you're going to be coaching.
Riley, yeah, I'm the assistant coach at Admiral Farragut
Congratulations.
under Tony LaRusso. Thank you, thank you. It was the best move I made in a very long time. I'm really happy coaching again,
Good.
and I've known Riley since she was a kid. Never really got a chance to coach her. I worked more with her older brother,
Yeah.
but I look forward to this upcoming season with her. She's really starting to come into her own. She's actually getting on the scales right now too out in Fargo.
Oh, she's up in Fargo. Yes. Okay. Oh,
Yep.
good luck to her, man. I tell you what, anyone who goes to Fargo, whether you get your butt whooped or whether you win a few matches or you come home with a stop sign, it doesn't matter. Every one of them is going to come back a little bit better. A
Right.
little bit better.
Yep.
You know?
Somebody we haven't mentioned, and she's one of my favorites, and I caught a lot of heat from the first time I coached her, is Rachel Silva.
Let's talk about it.
Um, I did not know at Knockout Duels. Go ahead, Jamie. I see you smiling already. Go ahead. we were at Knockout Duels, and I had no idea that she was hearing impaired. So I'm yelling, and Nick Alvarez is like, she's not going to listen to you. And I'm like, why? I'm like, why doesn't she listen? He's like, because she can't hear you.
Is she
I'm like, what?
legally deaf?
Yes.
Both ears or one?
She had one. She has the cochlear
Okay.
in the other ear. But at Knockout Duels, it malfunctioned. So she was going off of lip reading, and Nick's her coach, so he has hand signals and stuff like that. But she's a phenomenal human being, great family, and so easy to coach when you are able to do a pre-match coach with her.
Yeah.
On the mat, a lot of times she's going off instinct and what she's been taught in the room.
Yeah.
And she's just a great kid. I enjoy coaching her. And there are times like these guys are yelling, and I'm like, Jamie, she can't hear you. Jamie, Tim.
No, I got over that part. It was flopping around like a whale on the side of the mat, trying to get her to look at me and emulate what I was doing and make it make sense, right, visually.
Now, Kurt, I didn't know that you could wrestle with the cochlear implants. I know people that have those. I didn't know you could wrestle with those in them.
I've been told in some tournaments you cannot, because you can't have an electronic device in your ear. But at AAU National Duels, they said that it was okay.
Yeah.
That there was no problem with it.
Yeah, listen, man. If
So,
a kid's got a cochlear implant, it's not there so they can get coaching from their coach
right.
here. People got to understand that they got to hear, man. So, wow, that's crazy. Is there anybody else that you want to mention that you can think of right now? I think we pretty much talked.
Yes. One of my favorite kids is our 235 Hazuki Sykes
From
Sumner.
Sumner, okay.
She placed, I think, 5th or 6th in the state this year.
I remember the name.
Man, she's got a smile on her face during warm-ups. She's got a smile on her face on the mat. She's so coachable. She listens to everything we say. She has no problem grinding it out or just going for that big win. And she was a pleasure to coach.
Beautiful. Give me her name.
And what's that?
Give me her name again.
Hazuki Sykes.
Hazuki Sykes. Now, is she returning this high school season?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And she'll be at Sumner?
Yep.
Okay. Keep my eye out for her.
Yes.
Now,
definitely.
You guys
and then, of course, Claire O'Donnell, her improvement over the past year. Unfortunately, she was injured last season, so she didn't wrestle in the state series. Jamie, you've seen the difference in Claire from last year to this year.
Yeah, and again, she's been that girl where she's come into the lineup as a key backup, right? And knew coming in there that was what she was there for us, right? And then Kiki gets hurt and pretty much wrestles the entire tournament, right? And did a phenomenal job. Went out there again, super tough weight. And went out there and battled every match. Won a couple of really big matches. Was in most of them, and again, it's just helping her build her confidence. To move forward for next year. Great kid, great family. Just all around great addition to the team.
That's great. I love
she was coming up like 2 weeks prior, and her and Ariana became workout partners. Claire drives from Fort Myers up to St. Pete to wrestle once or twice a week with Ariana.
That's dedication.
Yeah. Well, and then they hit back-to-back lat drops in that one duel. Claire hits it, boom, and Ariana's like, "Well, I gotta hit it now." Boom, it's the same exact lat drop. I'm like, "All right, they're listening. All right, it's good." I'm not getting involved in that.
All right, so that's the first tough question. Here's the second tough question: Middleburg versus Farragut girls. Who wins that duel?
Middleburg.
Middleburg wins that duel.
Sheer numbers alone. We have some stuff. Every girl on our team state ranked, but we only have 4 or 5 girls.
Yeah.
Right. But we've had state medalists every year.
We return everybody by Cheyenne, but then we bring in Fallon, and then we have Kara McKeel as well, an 8th grader. That's
I think Kurt. I think
one. I don't want to bring the website up, but on a different website, she's projected to place next year too. So not only are we returning a core group of 7 girls that have been with me for 4 years, we're adding 2 super 8th graders in the
Yeah,
mix.
that's
So
awesome.
I think we're gonna be right there, with South Dade, Freedom,
Okay.
Vieira, under that blanket, right? And it's gonna matter on how the weights shake out. I think all the teams are sort of built similar, where you got 2 or 3 heavy hitters, and then 3 or 4, other placers, and it's just gonna see where everybody lands when season comes around next year and see what happens.
So who would you say would be the top coming now? We're in the early preseason now. For girls wrestling, who would you say would be the top 5 teams in March? If you had to guess, who would you say they are? In no order.
Well,
I'm not going to make it.
South Dade,
Okay.
without a doubt. Middleburg.
Yep.
Middleburg, I think, will probably be the underdog and the dark horse because nobody really knows anything about them. Who else you thinking? I mean, Hernando is they're losing a few.
Bear is returning some really tough
Flagler
girls.
loses some
Freedom,
Yep,
girls.
yeah, Freedom has had this young crop of girls, right?
yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
numbers. And same
That's
thing,
the Bush brothers, the
they're
Orlando Freedom. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
And Lindsay Dahl,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Lindsay.
and they're going to be tough. And
Kissimmee Osceola is back
Flagler's
on the
got
rise.
Flagler's got some heavy hitters coming back too.
What
They're going
about
to score a lot of
Hernando?
points.
They're losing some tough kids.
A lot. Yeah, they lost a lot. I mean, Hernando and Flagler graduated so much, right? But they again also have kids that are going to score a lot of points at states, right? So you can't count them out.
No,
And both teams have some depth too. So Hernando's definitely got depth in their program.
and I think that is why a feeder program or a club, a youth club, is so friggin' important, man. So you can
Right.
reload when you lose these hammers. You're bringing in younger hammers. That's why
Right.
South Dade is so tough. They got Gladiator. That's why,
Yep.
whatever. All these top teams have really good clubs. Middleburg, good club.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. And like that started to pay off for us
Yeah.
now with the couple that we got coming in, right? Like 4 or 5 years ago when at my gym when we decided we're going to go the girls wrestling route with Madison Blackburn and Andrea Smith and some other girls that were local to Jacksonville. We had to fill the little kids weight in, and I'm like, man, we're missing all these weights from like 48 pounds to 65. I'm like sitting in my youth boxing class, and I start talking to parents, and I'm like, hey, you ever thought about putting your daughter in wrestling? And that's how it all started, right? Like I took like 5 or 6 of those 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old girls out of the youth boxing class, and I'm like, here's wrestling, right? Like try this out,
Yeah.
see how you like it, and eventually, they start sticking and growing, and we're about to see that crop of kids come up and through in the next year. It really is going to start, and then 2-3 years after that as well. It's
Yeah.
going to continue to keep coming.
Well, I wish both of you all the luck in the world with your teams this upcoming season. Admiral Farragut, you're new there, so good luck with that. I think you're a perfect
Thank
fit.
you.
You're going to work great with those guys. As usual, Jamie, your team's always going to be stacked because you're just a great coach and you got a great club. How's my man Henry Geller doing?
He was there. He was coaching too with Nick. Him and Nick. So it's funny, me and Nick, or Nick and I, added each other on social media right after Fort Lauderdale, right? And I was like, how'd you like Henry? And he's like, man, he's a really good guy. And I'm like, yeah, did he tell you his story? He's like, no, I don't know anything about him. And I filled him in. He's like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, it's funny. You'd never know. Like that guy's got more credentials than 99% of the people in the building.
Yeah, he was like
when he
one of
walks
the
in there.
best 105 and a half pounders in the world.
Right.
105.5 as a grown ass man.
Right. Yeah, he's awesome, man. Like, it's one of those things. Actually, me and him just had that talk the other day because he's like, oh, it's starting to get tough. He drives an hour one way to practice.
What a great dude, man.
He's awesome.
He really is.
And
I think on our last podcast last year, I told you that he was one of my coaches growing up. He was my first
Right.
coach, him and Ron Schultz. Seahorse Wrestling Club when I was 12 years old.
Yep.
I moved down here from upstate New York, or 13, whatever. And I've loved them ever since. But all right, guys, thank you again for coming on. Congratulations.
We do have one last person to thank, and that's Jacob Pryor.
Oh,
Jacob Pryor, he came out with this beautiful gear. Yeah, exactly. Jacob, he physically drove the gear from where he lives. I think he's in Port St. Lucie, and he drove all the way up to St. Pete to make sure we got that gear on time.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
That's dedication. That's dedication to his craft. And then he came and helped us.
Unbelievable. You can't ask for anything better than that, man. And he does really nice work, man. The uniforms are beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, we look pretty good, right? Not bad.
You look great, man. Did they hold up? Is it good quality?
Yes.
Okay. Because a lot of times when somebody newer comes on the scene, you want to give them a chance, and your kids go out there and they come and their singlets are falling apart and the seams are coming undone. But I've never heard that about him. I've only heard good stuff about Primetime Design. So we'll give him a nice plug. Coach Jacob Pryor. He's not just a uniform designer, producer, but he's also a wrestling coach. He was the head coach, but now he's the head girls coach at Centennial.
Right. He was at Lincoln Park Academy for years, and then now he's at Centennial.
And what makes him so awesome is that he started that program from nothing, Lincoln Park. And that's not a rich program by any stretch of the imagination. Kind of like an inner city type program. And he took kids that never wrestled, and by the end of their time, they won a state title. That one kid, Gray, I think his last name was.
Yes, Kyle Gray.
Kyle Gray, state champ, man. And he's the reason that Kyle won a state title. He had some really good kids, and they were good because of him. So love the guy. So I'm glad you gave him a plug. Anything else we need to talk about before we sign off?
The one person that was the missing link that we really, that we lost was Kiki, Barrientos.
Yeah.
She's such a pleasure to coach. Jamie, you coach her, personally. I just get a chance to coach her when Jamie brings her aboard for our teams. But she's just such a great kid with a great family and, such a great attitude. And it was unfortunate she got hurt in match number 2 because we were looking at some big things from her.
Is she okay from that injury?
Yeah, yeah, she's fine. She's at Fargo now.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, she's rooming with Riley and Ariana. They're all roommates out there.
Those girls are gonna have the time of their lives, man. Time of their lives. And is Nick's up there, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we got a hell of a coaching staff up there, man.
Yeah.
Hell of a coaching staff.
I agree.
So, all right, guys, thank you for coming on.
All right, appreciate it, Ricky.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you.
We're gonna do this again next year, I have a feeling.
Oh yeah.
You guys. Hey, let me ask you this: has any girls team won it 3 years in a row?
No girls team won it 2 years in a row.
No girls won it 2 years in a row.
Okay,
right,
well, we'll make it 3 next year. Guys, have a great night. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll get to editing this as soon as I can, and we'll get it out in a timely fashion. But if you need anything between now and the time it gets released, or if you want me to add something, just give me a holler.
Okay.
Ricky, thanks for all you do, man. We really appreciate you.
It's my pleasure.